Listen up, my fellow coaches and leaders. The truth is, we all need a space to learn and grow so we can bust through our personal glass ceilings and step into our full potential, especially if we want to create the space to allow others to step into theirs. And that's where I come in. I'm not just a former clinical psychologist, but also a seasoned dream life and business coach with over 2 decades of experience helping people shatter their personal barriers and unleash their greatness. And here's the thing, you don't have to figure this all out on your own. As a heart-centered entrepreneur or industry leader, you deserve the best tools and strategies to help you and your business thrive. And that's why I'm excited to share my experience with you through the Coaching for Coaches podcast. Utilizing powerful combination of clinical skills, quantum physics, and strength-based coaching methods, I'll show you exactly what to do and exactly what to say to unleash your true potential and create a path for your clients to follow. And not just that, I'll also teach you how to build a thriving coaching business around your unique skill set and passions. So let's get started. It's time to answer your calling, make a lasting impact on the world, and create a lucrative living doing exactly what you love. Welcome to the Coaching for Coaches podcast, where greatness begins. Hey, you guys. Welcome to the Dream Life Experience. My name is Denise, and I never know when it's actually live. So thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I'm going to be sure that I can see all of your comments. And as you are hopping on, please say where you're from. And if you're listening to the replay, please put hashtag replay. I love to go back through and connect with you and answer any questions, because this is our time to really connect as coaches, elevate our skills, and talk about anything that either business or coaching related that could be holding us back. And so every single Monday, I come live to hang out with you and do a bit of hot seat coaching so you can see what it's like to be a dream life coach. So, all right, Jessica is from Maine and she can hear me. So good. I love that. So here's what I know, you guys. Having a pathway to follow as a coach is crucial. It's really important that you have a bunch of tools in your toolbox, so to speak, so that way when a client presents you with an obstacle or an objection or a problem that they're facing, you have a few roads that you can follow to support them based on their needs, what they're looking for, and how you can best help them. Our job as a coach is to create space. Our job is not to have the answers, right? Our job is not to have the answers. Our job is to create space for the client to figure out their own answer. And so what's fascinating about this is that as we create space, we get to have the opportunity to handle and deal with our own stuff. So here's what I mean. What we don't want to do is start talking about our own problems or our own stuff or our own stories, that kind of thing, when we're in a coaching session. And the way that we hold space for somebody without being triggered or without feeling like we don't know what to say is by personally growing ourselves. When we have a high EQ, right, emotional quotient, we can handle when somebody comes to us with their burdens, with their problems, with their insecurities, because we have the space to hold them and not take it personally, not allow it to ruffle our feathers, not allow it to trigger us into a spiral, perhaps. The goal here, you guys, as a coach, is to grow ourselves so we can hold space for others. And that's why, to be honest, this program is a year-long program. It's not just about reading a book and doing saying the question. It's about experiencing it so you can have your personal growth too. I want you to become your best version. Why? Because as you are confident and secure and whole and courageous, you can better hold space for those that are coming to you with insecurities and confusion, and you're not going to like jump in the pot with them, right? Because you're going to have your own confidence. Now, that doesn't mean that coaches need to be perfect. No. That doesn't mean we got to have it all together all of the time, but it means that you're on your own growth and healing journey too. So I'd love to hear from you in the chat. How many of you would say that you are on your own growth and healing journey? If you're listening to the podcast version of this, definitely check out our free group, Coaching for Coaches. I go live every single Monday, and there's a ton of resources in here to give you the exact questions to ask to support your clients on their journey. So Becca says, me, yes. Tracy, amen. Yes. Okay. Yes, Jessica as well. Yeah, and that's all of us, right? We're all on our growth and healing journey, and as we grow, we can hold space for those who are possibly like 3 steps behind us. So with that being said, I have the newest Dream Life coach to recognize today. She jumped into 90-day U-turn in January. Within the first 6 weeks, she upgraded into the certification program. She came to the Dream Life Adventure in May and is now getting certified in June. So within 6 months, she's certified and has her program ready to launch. I have to say, when she decided to come all in, she went all in, and it's been so much fun to see and experience her growth over the last 6 months. So big dreamer welcome to Jessica Tom Keel. The crowd goes wild. All right. Well, thank you so much for being here, and big congratulations on being Dream Life certified. You guys in the chat, give her a big thumbs up. Congratulate her. It is a big deal to commit to something. And I know you're also working on your health certifications. You've got a lot of stuff happening. I'd love to hear a bit about why you decided to become Dream Life certified.
Yeah, this was such an amazing opportunity for me. Currently, I'm an attorney and I work for the state of New York. And while I do amazing work, I realized probably sometime last year that it wasn't my passion. It's not what I want to do for the rest of my life. And I realized health coaching, being there for others and watching other women have amazing transformations is what I wanted to be able to do. And I started with Beachbody because I had my own weight loss. And then things kind of trickled. And you always say the house shows up. And I wasn't exactly sure what I wanted to do. I just knew that I needed to get some kind of certification so that I could feel myself that I was able to go and help others. And I found you through one of your free challenges back in December, and it just kind of trickled from there. So now I'm currently working on creating a program that I get to help women overcome emotional eating, because that is a huge issue that we're all dealing with, showing them that diets are not always the way. And now that I am certified as a life coach, I can bring in a lot of the mental aspects, which any change you're going to make in your life, there's a lot you have to dig into.
Right. And a lot of what we talk about in 90-day U-turn and the certification program is overcoming self-sabotage, really creating healthy habits that stick and rewiring that hardwire subconscious programming, right? And so you can utilize all of that with any sort of niche. And so for you, you're going to be able to encompass not only the coaching skills, but also the psychology component of helping people to figure out their why and be motivated long enough to see change.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome. So tell me a bit about your story, because I know part of your why is that you also had your own crazy weight loss experience.
Yeah, so I have a very crazy story, and I try to always wrap it up as quickly as I can. I was married young, had kids young, and unfortunately I was in a pretty abusive relationship. But during that time, while my daughter was 1 and I was pregnant with my son, I went to law school because that's just the trajectory of where my life was going. Being in an abusive relationship, having 2 little kids, going to law school, food was my comfort. And I ended up gaining a ton of weight because, especially with food, it's there for you always. It's everywhere. And if you're having a bad day, it's so easy to reach for something. So I unfortunately gained tons of weight. I was well over 200 pounds, and it worked in the moment. But once I graduated law school, realized that my relationship was not what I needed to be, I ended up raising the two kids on my own, but I was very unhappy. And I realized I can't be the mom I want to be for them if I can't even take care of myself. So I went on this mission to figure out how can I lose the weight without being on these restrictive diets, without taking all these supplements, without all of that stuff, because that's not what worked for me. So I did a lot of research, a lot of work on myself. And within a few years, I was able to lose over 70 pounds, and I've kept it off, and I sleep better. I have energy and I feel amazing. And I realized that this is something that I think other women want to feel.
Yeah, absolutely. And so your story gives hope to people out there who are like, is change possible? And can I keep it off? Can I make a lifestyle change that I actually stick to? And what I think is fascinating is when you're working with, in weight loss or health, whatever, what's the word? Health coaching. When you're working in any sort of health component, right? There can be an element of insecurity, of fear, of shame that a client brings in, because sometimes it's like, we know what to do, but we're not doing it.
Yep.
And so what I love about what you bring to your coaching sessions is a warmth, an understanding, and this place to say, you know what, it is hard, and that's okay. Let's focus on those micro 1% changes, 1% shifts that compound over a lifetime. Why do you think that's important?
I think it's important because, especially in weight loss, everyone is so excited at the very beginning. We all jump in, you start whatever new diet there is, and it's good for a few days, but then it becomes hard. And when things are hard, people don't like to deal with any type of pain or things that are difficult. So they revert back to where they were before. So when you make tons of big changes at once, it's not going to stick. No matter how hard you try, it's just not going to stick. So what you have to do is you really have to look at where your life is. And yes, it's great to have these huge goals, but if you don't break it up into small things that you can work on just one or two at a time, you're going to get overwhelmed. You're going to revert back. And a lot of people end up gaining more weight back, which is not good. So it's super important to find one or two little things that you want to work on. And you need to be able to do that for an entire week, if not longer. I mean, I think it's 21 days for something to really stick. And just even drinking water or getting in 10,000 steps a day, those may seem like little things. Oh, I know to do it, but are you actually doing it 7 days a week? And that's where the real change and momentum comes from.
Right. And having an accountability person to connect with that you're meeting with once a week, twice a month, whatever the case is, having that accountability is priceless to these micro habit shifts, because somebody's going to ask, and that you're going to need to report back. And so keeping track of things. Now, let's talk a bit about your experiences. You not only were losing your weight a couple years ago, but also deciding, all right, I'm going to go all in on this coaching experience. Tell me a bit about the growth you've had over the past 6 months.
Yeah, the growth has been crazy. I'll tell you, one of the best things that ever happened to me going through this is learning about personal development. It's not something I'd ever really experienced before. And I'm a very stubborn, defensive person, and it wasn't getting me very far in life. And I would say probably since last August or September, when I really started digging into personal development, I realized how closed off I've become to the abundance that's out there, whether it's wealth or health or anything that you are looking to make your life better. When you are stuck in that negative place, there's no room for it. And I started on that journey myself. And like I said, as I continued, the how just showed up, and your courses came in, and 90-day U-turn, seriously, from some of those calls really opened me up, because I'm not someone that opens up very easily.
Yeah. And why is opening up important?
If you can't face yourself, you're not going to be able to coach others. You need to be able to understand your own pain points, know what growth feels like and how hard it can be. Because if you can't face your own issues and stubbornness and anything that's holding you back, you're not going to be able to coach someone through the tough things for themselves as well.
Yeah. Well, and that's why it's not just like here's a book and go do it, right? You actually experience it. So you went through the exercises, you had your own shifts, you felt the onion layers start to fall off and your heart start to open. So when you now do these exercises or go through the question list with clients, you have confidence that it's awesome because you've experienced it yourself.
Exactly. And I will say to anyone who might resonate with anything I've said, it is very subtle, these changes. You may do some of these activities and you're like, oh, well, I know what to write, or I know what she's asking. And even if you don't dig in the moment, there will be subtle changes. It's amazing. You'll a couple days, couple weeks later, you'll be like, oh, that's right. I do remember talking about that. And you will start seeing those onion layers, as you said, fall away, but at the most interesting times.
Right. It's not a flip of the switch. It's
Mhm.
like, oh my gosh, I used to get so mad when I was sitting in traffic and now I'm enjoying it. What happened?
Exactly.
And it's those little things that truly, again, like we talked about, that compound effect that make your entire life different.
Yeah.
And so one of your favorite exercises that I asked you, like, what do you think has really been a aha moment for you over the past 6 months? And so you brought up the 100 success sheets. And this is actually in one of the first few weeks of 90-day U-turn. And so there's a method to the madness. At the first part of the program, the goal is to warm the space, right? And talk about what we're good at, talk about the things that we're proud of and that kind of thing. And then we get into some of the onion layers, some of the harder exercises a few weeks in. But tell me a bit about your experience with the 100 success sheet. Well, I guess what it is, your experience, and why you think it was helpful.
Yeah, I think it's really helpful because I am someone who's very hard on themselves. I have a very bad habit of living in just this moment. So if I can't see what's going on for me right in this moment, I feel like I haven't done enough. I feel like I'm not moving the needle forward. And when we did it during 90-day U-turn, I listed all these things that I've done in my past, which are wonderful. I went to law school. I've had 2 children. I'm raising them on my own. I bought my own house. Like, I've done amazing things, but it's very hard when you see them like 6 months ago, a year ago. You're like, yeah, so what? What's next? And it's actually funny because we just did this similar thing yesterday. I believe it was on one of our calls. And I'm like, okay, so I'm doing all this stuff to become certified. And, I feel like I haven't done enough. And then you told us to go back past like 3 months and what have you accomplished? And I started listing and I'm like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe what I've actually done in 3 months. And it lets you sit in the moment and be like, I have done this. I am capable. And in just a short period of time, I've done this. So the amount that's available to me in the future is just exponential growth.
Yeah. And again, we don't do this on our own, which is why it's powerful. Every 3 months, we have what we call the CEO workshop, where it's like a deep dive into something about business related. On Sunday, it was all about marketing, social media strategy. And we say, all right, since the last time we did this, what shifted? What's changed? And you were like, a lot.
Yeah.
And one thing you said to me that I just thought was like, we need to put this on the gratitude jar, put it in, create a gratitude jar and put it in it or put it on your wall behind you. This is a good one. She said to me, you guys, that after she does a coaching call, because we're practicing, we've got, she's got some support clients and things that she's working with. She said, after she does a coaching call with a client, she's in such a good mood and her kids notice. And they're like, oh my gosh, mom, you need to do more of these. And like it ripple effects and impacts the energy of your entire house.
Yeah, it's definitely the same thing as after you get a really good workout in. You've got all that up and going. You're super excited. And I am so happy for hours after a coaching call because meeting new people, helping them through stuff, it's such an amazing feeling that you don't really get many other places.
Yeah, you don't, but we do as coaches, and it's so much fun. And it's one of the reasons why I think a lot of people are gravitating to the coaching world, because just a new way to add value into the world, kind of on our own terms. And it's beautiful. So let's quickly practice the 100 success sheet. So I won't make you do 100 right now, but think back to the last 3 to 6 months or so. What are some things that you are proud of that you've either accomplished, you've done, or you've experienced?
So definitely some of the business stuff. I have got my LLC. I have a business bank account. I've shown up more on social, and to me, that's a win, because social media is kind of like a job, and it's something I wasn't prepared for, what you really need to do on social media to get a business going. And that was great. I took some time off my 9 to 5 to experience my own dream life day, as if I was a coach. How would I handle my day? And I allowed myself to do that. I have made sure to take extra time for the kids. I make sure that, if they want to read a book or we get to go to the park, that I schedule that in. And I know that sounds funny, but you have to schedule things in. I have created a date for my course launch. I'm creating my course, which, if you see all the sticky notes behind me, that is part of my course. I've created freebies. I've made funnel leads. And I've even learned to take more time for myself. I started journaling again, meditating. I work out every day. So there's so many things that I can be thankful for. And it's hard to say, but I'm proud of myself for.
Yeah. It's a big deal, because my guess is you were thinking about doing coaching stuff for a couple years. And then in 6 months, not only are you certified, you have a program brewing with a start date, you've practice sessions under your belt, and you've got marketing strategies that you're implementing.
Yep.
Like, it's like, once you make that line in the sand, right? Once you decide, so many things start to unfold. And I have found, at least for myself, that sometimes that decision is saying yes to that next step program, or yes to, because when we're trying to figure it out on our own, right, it can be 1 step forward, 2 steps back. We don't really know what steps to take, so then we're unsure when we do take a step. But having a community and a roadmap really helps to lay it out for you, so then you can confidently take the steps. Even if you don't know what's next, you know that you'll figure it out when you get there, because you're surrounded by people who are doing what you want to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Well, is there anything that you would say to somebody who has been thinking about becoming a coach for years, or maybe they're just getting their coaching business off the ground? What is something that you would recommend to them?
That it's not as scary as it seems. It's extremely daunting at the beginning, because you're like, I have this big goal, I have this big dream, I know what I want to do, or I think I know. When I started with you, Denise, I didn't know what I was going to do for a program. I'm like, I need to have a job change. I need to do something. And it just kind of happens. It's amazing how organically things do fall in line. And the absolute best thing is, I have never met better women that we have in our group. Everyone is so supportive. Everyone is doing such amazing things. We are world changers. And the support that we get to have on, whether you're doing 90-day U-turn, or you're coaching for coaches, or if you go on a Dream Life retreat, that thing is life-changing in itself. But if you even have an idea that you want to do this is the right place for you. You will be fully supported, and we help you figure out all of those details, because there's a lot of them, but it doesn't have to be scary.
Yeah, I love that. And you're right. Like, you're not doing it alone. So not only is there one-on-one time where we get to strategize and brainstorm, but you're surrounded by a group of women who are on a similar journey. And so some are 3 steps ahead, and some are just getting started, but like, everybody's got that heart to serve and the heart to create. And so again, it's like we all kind of lock arms and we're doing it together. So thank you for saying yes back in January, for jumping in with both feet. It's been amazing to get to know you and to see the onion layer start to fall off, because your warmth and your wisdom is contagious even through Zoom. So I'm excited to see what you continue to create. If you guys are dealing with emotional eating, if you need support, check out Jessica. You can, I tagged her in some, I'll tag her again, but you can go check her out on social media. She'll be launching her course in the next few weeks, and you can definitely snag the early bird pricing if that's something that resonates with you. So, all right, I'm going to end this, you guys, by saying if you are interested in being just like Jessica, saying yes, getting started, and actually doing the dang thing, then put coach in the comments below and we'll schedule a quick call. I'll tell you all about how the program works and we'll see if it's a perfect fit for you, because I know that we can spend years of our life thinking about something, or we can get it done in 6 months. How about that? So comment coach below. I'd love to reach out with you. Thank you again, Jessica, for hanging out with us tonight. Congratulations. I'm super excited and proud of you, and just know that this is the beginning. So have an awesome night, you guys. We'll see you soon.